Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've drawn the blank, which is always a welcome sight. Rest of the rack, not so good. But it soon will be. I just need to play off the W and the X, and anything that's left will be bingo-y. So, wax is the obvious play, if that is available. Not really seeing any alternatives and not seeing a way of playing off the P as well. Pax wax is good, but that's not a bingo, and that's not going to be played. There may be a very long bingo with these tiles, but I'm not seeing it. Now, anyway, great for wax. Well, yes, fairly great. And this takes out the double danger in column 4. Pretty good rack leave. 31 points. Can I do any better? No, I don't think so. Wow, that is ridiculous and actually a disappointing sight in some ways. The two blanks together lack synergy. However, I am delighted it's not on opponent's rack, and the rest of the rack is completely dreamy. So it's going to be a case of which bingo to play rather than trying to find one. So how about column 8, ending EX or beginning something EX? So something would be a blank. Very hard to find the optimal bingo with both blanks, hard enough with one. So not seeing anything, something EX. How about something ending X, possibly ending sex, which would leave pite, double blank. That opportunity's gone. So where is the next best lane? Well, row K is a double, but the problem here is our, which only takes a Y. So the play would have to have... I'm putting E to avoid using a double blank here, but tarot is also good. And it would have to begin... well, that's not going to be productive. How about a play beginning EN or with N? Exo takes nothing in front. Or a play beginning yen. No, not seeing anything. How about a play in column 3 with a B or an N? Well, there must be one with an N. Let me consider. Well, panties doesn't get doubled, so I need to find something better. Spinate also doesn't get doubled. Incepts. Well, that does work. Certainly not optimal with a blank on the double letter square. This is a move which you could waste an awful lot of time on. Slight danger of the Z getting tripled, but 3 consonants means it's not going to be a monster play. So incepts for 74, and that did have some merit. It doesn't provide a lot of floaters for opponent, and the S not particularly useful towards the left of the board. Now, pretty good pick. I have Dawnder and possibly Undared, which plays in column 2. Slight doubts about both of those. So how about the floating T and S? Not seeing anything with the T or the S. And my bingos only play in column 2. Which stays available. And in fact, it's only Undared which plays here, which may not be good. And isn't... I'm not trying Undread. Is there a play beginning L or O? Not seeing an L play. How about the O? No. T something O, possibly TRO. No. O, not a useful floater at the end. I do have the under prefix with AD. No, not seeing anything. Gosh, okay, well, I was quite pleased to see this rack, but it's not as good as I was hoping. I thought I would have a bingo. Now, novated is good. Still, Daunder it doesn't play. Novator, not good. Just wondering if it is Daunder. I feel there is a bingo here. I don't think Undread is good. No, I'm going to abandon hope. So, what to do here? No scoring tiles on the rack. I could play Jew to take out the Z danger, but that's setting ET next to this double letter square, which isn't good. Or I could do this, dud for 16 points. Pretty ropey. Keeping a fairly decent rack lead, but not a stellar one. I could play Nuda for 23, keeping AD and sticking some useful floaters in the open. 7 more points. I'm preferring dud to that. Now, do I have a play beginning XO? No, I don't. So 15 minutes on my clock. This doesn't feel a great play, but I'm going with it. And I draw the J. No bingo here. Any decent J spots? No, but I can play Jam in column 10. Not great, putting the J next to a double word square. Oh, look at this. This is dreamboat stuff. I have got Jeer and Jut. Fantastic. Is there anything better? Well, Jane is better. It preserves an E. I don't think there's a way of playing the M, but look at this score, 75 points. This is fantastic. Let me just rearrange this to Jean to make it less useful for opponent. N better than E for beginning a word, or for preventing a word from being played. Rackley's okay. What I was thinking about is there a JM play? And I don't think there is. I am going with this. Wow, I draw the Q with the U, so I am picking well, both blanks. J taking advantage of a fantastic spot, and now Q with the U. So I have quad and keyed. I don't think I have a bingo here. I guess I would have Marquetry through T and R. Well, that's not available. Wow, nice bingo for opponent. Takes my quad spot, but I wasn't fixed on that. It was just the first I saw. So Beardy's takes a T, I think, at the end. Now, key, Quay, better than quad. That does play here for 45 points. Pretty good score. Well, I say I've been drawing well, but look at this. My lead, only 40 points. Disappointing. Just looking at the S in case there was a bingo. What about a double-double in column 11? I have Marquee, which plays through that, but it doesn't get doubled twice. So Is there any better Q spot? The Eye of Beardies is available, but I can't play QU in that spot. This is quite a nice play. Can I improve it? Queen is good. This is 45. I'm not going to score more. Now, what about column 8? Well, I do. I have Quera. It does retain the Y and the M, but let's see what the score is. 48. That is not a massive improvement. I thought it would be a lot more. So this is a better play, better rack leave, fewer floaters. I am going with this. Fairly good. V for score, M for score. So I'll definitely be able to keep the scoring going. I do have a 90-point lead. Great, just 24 for opponent. What am I going to do here? Well, it's a nice looking rack. Do I have a play in column 8? Wow, that looks close. Well, I do. I have Reaver. 39 points, nice score. Decent rack leave as well. It's not a great rack leave. It's only 2 tiles, so it's unlikely to make a bingo with 5 random tiles, but there's a vowel there, a good one, and a good scoring tile. And I may be able to survive a bingo if I keep on being able to score 30 or 40 points, which is more than half the value of a bingo. Now, can I do better than this? Can I play the M as well? 11 minutes on my clock. I don't think I can. My Eve is good, but it doesn't take an R. I'm going with this. Not so good. An excess of scoring tiles and not obvious how to sort them out. And remaining tiles contain a ton of bingo-y tiles. Q and Z have already gone. Q and J and X have already gone. Only the Z of the big tiles. Reaver's stuck a load of good floaters out in the open. Can I do anything about that? Our opponent's played. I missed that. Oh, fantastic. His takes an N, and I've got an N. So I ought to be able to do something in column 15. 3 N's to come, so opponent may well have one. It doesn't take anything else that I've got. Yeah, that's a nice play. It's opening column 15, and if I take that spot, well, I'm leaving all these wonderful floaters alone. But what do I have in column 15? And I'm looking to find something which reaches a triple word square. I have NEM. Not great. 29 points and a ropey rack leave. However, that's definitely a back pocket play. Can I find something better? Well, I have BUNN, that's better. Same score, much better rack leave. And C and M have some synergy, but only 1 O and 3 A's to come. I'm minded to go with this. I know one always looks at the most recent play by opponent, so maybe it would have been better to take out Reaver, but I'm not sure I could score as well as the bun spot. What about a play? Only 8 minutes on my clock, I shouldn't tarry. I don't have anything which goes in front of hose, apart from the M, so I do. So I have UMBE, and that's where the story ends. I'm going with this. Pretty good. Back towards being fairly balanced. I have might decide in row C, should that remain available. But not sure of a bingo elsewhere. Bun has... Wow, where has opponent played? Great, he's played down here. Might decide remains available, and this is going to be a monster score. Might decide for 86. Bang! Fantastic. I was not getting my hopes up about that. It's so often you have a bingo and there's only one bingo and opponent blocks it, but that didn't happen. And the new lane that opponents created is a pretty good one because it's a face value lane which will give access to triple word squares. My rack's rubbish, but I don't care. I'm nearly 200 points in the lead. 18 tiles left, 8 minutes on my clock. So, what to do here? I need to keep scoring. 16 tiles left, so theoretically opponent can bingo twice. That's what I want to avoid. And I'd quite like to turn over tiles to get this game done and dusted. And I want to avoid having difficult decisions, so to the extent possible I'd like to keep good rack leaves. Now, with all that talking, I have not seen any candidate plays. I was looking to put my Y over this E, but YIRR doesn't work. Wow, I'm close to tricycler. No words ending CYU. Ah, well, interesting. Interesting. What about playing crew? 26 points, not bad, and a pretty good rack leave. I'd like to play off more tiles, but this score's okay. And I'm keeping the Y for the YE spot. Yeah, I'm going with this. And part of that was the time. I feel slightly concerned about the time ticking down. Not good. I haven't checked the vowels. Opponent takes my Y spot. 6 vowels out of 18. Not many vowels left, which may explain why I haven't got many. Now, this board is looking super non-bingo-y, apart from row N, which I'm not bothered about, and row A, which I can do something about, I think. Yeah, I can play... This isn't going to be massive, but it takes out row A, scores nearly 20 points, retains the Y, which is a quasi-vowel, and LI takes nothing in front, so this completely... Or this suffocates the board. It takes all of the action away from the top left. There is no action top right, so attention is going to turn to the bottom of the board. Great, I draw a vowel. And wow, opponent plays pin. He must be fishing for a bingo. Fine, he can fish away. What can I do here? I have myrtle on my rack. Now, are there any extensions of bun? I've got the LY ending. And I'm looking for a 4-letter extension, not seeing one. So, I could just play my, which is going to score more than opponent's been scoring, 27 points. Puts me further out of reach. I'm retaining the E. Yeah, I think that's fine. Is there any extension of foo that works for me? Well, let me pause. So L and R go there, and M, but not many of those. T doesn't. I don't think foully is good with one L. No. Okay, that would be a much better score if there was a play coming down from FOU. So, my for 27. Great, I draw another vowel, close to a bingo. Opponent's got to be looking at row N, but look at this, there's F, K and Z out there, so he could just be blocked all the way to the end of the game. Just 4 vowels left. Can I keep scoring 4 minutes on my clock? Just wondering about a play through the R. No. I certainly don't want to get into time trouble here. I've got no N, which is annoying. I do have a T. Interesting. What about playing trog? And this takes out row N. The floaters aren't particularly useful. It stops opponent sticking an N under exo, so this is just generally obstructive, and it's playing off 4 of the 5 remaining tiles. But this is madness on a stick with a Z to come. ZA, well, Zags. Okay, opponent is not going to catch me from this distance, but I'm not going to gift him that. Well, what about Tolt instead? Yeah, that doesn't have the Z danger. It's slightly fewer points, but it's worth it to take out that Z danger. Wow, not bad. Is there a bingo here? Not a 7. L&T floaters, they are for precisely second place bingos. GL looks best. I'm not seeing anything, too many duplicates. Opponent's rack, pretty good. Not sure if Tolt takes an S, but K and Z, not great. Opponent's got at least one of those on his rack because there's only 1 tile in the bag. Just looking at NY, I don't have a bingo beginning with that. Unlikely, but worth checking. Now, what about an extension of bun? No, I don't think that's going to happen this game. Certainly not with my rack, and this is the last rack I'll see. Great, no bingo. L and Z to come. An opponent can play Zal. 2 minutes on my clock. Does he have a second out? Z and L. Either a second out or a massive Z spot. No, so I think I just need to take out this E. So what about a play in row K? And I need to find a play which gives me an out into 2 minutes on my clock. Out into ideally. So any way of extending GI, well, GI. No, so what about GEN? Blocking GERS. 1 minute on my clock. Am I setting up an LZ spot for opponent? I don't think so. Am I going out with GIRR? I don't think I am. Well, let me at least change this to GER. Res is good. Gosh. So, what about rig? And then I'm setting up Gurn. Yeah, I'm not setting up anything for opponents. Okay, I'm going with this. I'm short on time. That might be horrendous. I haven't spotted a second out. But I do have an out for myself at the moment. And through the eye, I have rain. I'm not seeing anything through ER with my rack. What about through SI? I have resign. Surely one of those will be available. But does opponent have an LZ out that I've overlooked? Liz not good. Gosh, I may be able to get over 500 points if the opponent doesn't have an out. That's always good fun. Wow, opponent, I think maybe he didn't have anywhere at all for the Z. Surely he did. Gosh, I didn't really consider that possibility. Well, if opponent's stuck with a Z, I should go out one tile at a time, but I'm not going to. I don't really have the time to plan that, so I'm going for resign with 18. And the final score, 307 for my opponent, 529 for me, a winning margin of 222 points, so a huge, huge win. Let's see what I missed. Wow, what a game. I was not expecting such a bloodbath. I got off to a great start, but I thought once the blanks were out of the way, things would settle down a bit. However, they did not. So, opponent to go first, and he played ovate. I played wax, for 31. And this is opponent's rack. Plays tarot. Now, this is the rack I spent, well, not a massive amount of time, but I didn't particularly like my play of Incept, only 74, but look at this, only 4 more points on offer, K7. Because of SN plays, yeah, but only 4 points. And Incept provides fewer floaters than Snippet. Now, opponent's rack plays Tool. Phew, no missed bingo here, but this looks a very long word, H1. Renovated. I never considered extending Novate both sides, but that was available for 36 points and an okay rack leave. What do? I played dud for 16, which, by comparison, was indeed a dud play. But the rack leave of EANR, certainly better than all of these, so it wasn't a terrible play. Now, opponent's rack plays Foo, and what a fabulous spot for me. I have Jean for 75, and that really put some daylight between my opponent and me. He does come back with a bingo, which was a good spot, but I'm able to play Key for 45, which re-established the lead. Opponent's rack, I thought he had a bingo, he doesn't. Plays Pooed, and another play through Novated available with Innovated. Gosh, and Renovated remains available. What do? I play Reaver for 39. Also playable with I and E swapped. Nothing better. Opponent plays his. And now, I have a good lead, but it's not a game-winning lead. It's only 78 points. And opponent is creating bingo lanes. C10, num. Well, that leaves column 15 alone. But decent score, decent rack leave. And I played Bun for 29. And I prefer my play. I'd like to dampen down volatility a bit. Now, opponent's rack. No bingo, and he's so close. Plays EA. So he plays EA from this rack, leaving AEINS, so a fantastic 5-letter set. And I have Mighticide for 86. What I didn't see, A3, dimetric through this R. Well, delighted I spotted one of those bingos, and more delighted that it was the highest scoring one. Now, this was opponent's rack, so he drew H and A, and no bingo, so pretty unlucky, I think. Plays Han. Well, I think he's slightly hampered by the lack of floaters, just the R, really. So he's restricted to 7-letter words. So I play Crew for 26, and I like that. Opponent still no bingo, plays U. And he's really suffering from the lack of lanes on the board, and in particular the lack of floaters. So, wow, I play Lig here, and this is me overlooking the Foo extensions because Fowley was available for 36. However, Lig took out this R, and therefore did have merit. By taking out that R, it pretty much forces opponent into a row N bingo, which is where I would like him to play. Row A could be a 80 or 90 point play, so although there's an 18 point difference or 17 point difference, I still prefer my play. No bingo for opponent, and this is just the sort of tiles which may have combined well with an R, which Lig prevented. So opponent plays pin, and this is where I do look to the bottom left of the board, and really I'm just looking for score, and I get 27 for my, and renovated, although it scores more, sticks an R in the open, so I prefer my play. Still no bingo for opponent, and his rack is so bingo ace. He just has a succession of racks which fall slightly short of the bingo. Now I played Tolt for 10 for reasons explained earlier. And now opponent has got alkynes, but he's got no playable bingo, and there's only one tile in the bag, and he cuts his losses and wrecks his rack and no longer has a bingo rack. He's trying to go out in one next play, but that isn't going to happen. So I play Rig. And now opponent is stuck with the Z. Fantastic. So what I should have done here is play out E, G, N, R separately. And I could have scored more than I got for Resign. Well, it's opponent's play. So opponent plays Lie. Now this is the point where I should have gone out one tile at a time. And I didn't. I played Resign, but N11, Gren, making Ear and Sin actually scores one more point. So that's 18, and I could have got more than 18 by playing out R, E, G and N separately. But it didn't affect the overall result of the game, which was a massive bloodbath in my favour. So many thanks to my opponent for a good game. I hope you enjoyed watching that game, and I will see you next time.